Hello everybody, it's Richard Hart here. I just want to let you know that the Pulsechain and Pulsex.com on that mainnet has launched as well. I hope you guys are all enjoying it. We waited a couple years for this and it's finally here.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the live show. And of course, happy Pulsechain 1 year anniversary. We're going to be counting it down. We're in the final 10 minutes. So we're going to bring that up and say hello. Get in the chat there. Let me know what your favorite thing in the last year has been on Pulsechain that you've got into or experienced. Let us know in the chat and we'll read those out. Let's see here. We're going to do the countdown. So let's pull it up. Here we go. Look, we're down here on GoPulse, and of course, we're following their timeline. Yeah, so we've got 8 minutes and 42 seconds to go till the 1 year anniversary. Yeah, boy. So, very exciting time. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Now, we've obviously been covering it virtually every day. Particularly, probably the first 9 months in particular, we were documenting most of the projects that launched on Pulsechain. So, we have a good archive here on this channel. As we were covering virtually everything that was launching, and it was exciting times. Now, there are still a lot more projects launching from time to time on Pulsechain. Obviously, this week we've got some, we've got TYZZ launching. I think we've had a couple of other projects launch over the last couple of days. So a lot of them are influencer meme coin type approaches, but we do have utilities and other projects launching as well coming up. So it's pretty cool. Now we got GoPulse. Yeah, his ticker is down almost 7 minutes 50, so doing pretty well there. We're going to count that down. Let's see who else is in the chat here. We got Sandy Beach. Hello, Sandy Beach. Hello, everybody from Sandy. And of course, a big shout out to Mother's Day for all those mums out there in our community. Nice one there, Sandy. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all those mothers. Incredible, incredible what mothers do for the whole society and of course for the families as well. All right, what else there? I always liken the mother and the family to like the sun and the solar system. How about that? It's pretty cool. I always like that one. We got Brian in the house there. Sup, folks? Hey, Brian. Hope you're doing well. What else we got going on there? We've got Brendan in the house there. Morning, Superman and family. 10 minutes till the official 1 year. Yeah, it's counting down nicely. We got Hex Clan as well in there with the thumbs up and the party. What is it? A party something? Party. What is that? Party. I don't know what that's like a cone. Party cone. Is it? Party cone. Sandy says, I'm a mother. Ha ha ha. Nice one, Sandy. Well done. You're a cool mother. Cool mother. All right. Here we go. 6 minutes and 42. Now we have got a bit of an update here from Richard Hart as well. Richard Hart just posted this out about 10 minutes ago. Ethereum is great. Pulsechain.com is an L1, a layer 1 that's more decentralized, faster, and has less base inflation. Cheaper, tons of free coins, only a year old, and has been inheriting every upgrade ETH built upstream. So that's kind of cool. It's got Geth, it's got Aragon, Lighthouse, Prism. It's better than layer 2, 100%. And of course, that's just from Richard now. 15 minutes ago, it's safer than layer 2s and even safer than Ethereum itself if you fear all the centralized staking services in control of massive numbers of validators, which is a very good criticism there. I don't have that fear yet. I do prefer people host their own nodes as the blockchain is safer and more robust with independent nodes. Of course, the Pulsechain is awesome. Pulsechain is much farther along in its first year than Bitcoin was. There is so much potential. How about that? We love that word, potential. So that is from Richard in the last 15 minutes. He also had another post here as well 40 minutes ago. Pulsechain.com is so much safer than these layer 2 things. Look at all the cannot withdraw, that the opposite of what crypto has invented. And as I always say, Pulsechain really is a leader in DeFi, right? And that's where we've got some awesome innovators on Pulsechain. And yeah, it's just so cool. Fully decentralized, everything else is so good. So Arbitrum there, obviously all these cannot withdrawals on all these different chains, including Base, OP Mainnet, Starknet there, ZK. Syncera, lots of them on the list here. So good point there from Richard. So that is from Richard leading the 1 year. So that's kind of cool. And we're counting down. Last 5 minutes. And 5 minutes to go. Woohoo! There we go. So we're going to count that down. We'll probably leave it up there and just have a chat. So get into the chat there. So let us know what your favorite things have been over the last year on Pulsechain that you've enjoyed. Maybe you've made some mad gains on a particular project. Maybe it was a certain type of service that was offered on Pulsechain. Maybe it was just having Pulsechain and Pulsex up as well. Maybe you were part of the Pulsechain sacrifice or the Pulsex sacrifice, or maybe some of the top sacrifice teams like Liquid Loans, Power City, Internet Money. Just let us know in there. PulsePot, for example, all sorts of different groups as well. Now, thinking of launching, TYCZ is launching on the 15th and 16th. It's in the phased launch. The first day is going to be tokens and our people set up. And of course, those who are lucky enough to get those NFTs are going to get those as well. And then on the 16th, they're going to be rolling out the next phase. So that's some teasers about the features and that are coming up for TYCZ. So that's going to be a phase launch. Now, it will be on BNB chain, but it is a Pulsechain dev. Jacob, of course, so we're looking forward to that. Many of you may have sacrificed for that. So that's coming up as well. We've got Die Hard and Health here with the popcorn. I like that. I should have got some popcorn too, and maybe a nice cool cola as we're counting it down here. Less than almost 3 minutes to go for the Pulsechain countdown for 1 year anniversary. Pretty cool, based here on Go Pulse. Now we're going to go through the results, of course, for day 366 on here. So we'll be doing that as well. But yeah, those were the updates from Richard so far on his X profile here. We'll give a little refresh to make sure we got the latest and greatest from Richard. But that is pretty much it there, right there. So he did acknowledge the only 1 year old part there. So it's kind of cool. And of course, the Pulsechain conference is on with Matty Allen on the moment. That's on for 4 days. I think it's on day 3. Probably the second hour of day 3, something like that. First hour of day 3 on at the moment. So that's also something that people have been looking at and popular as usual. Kind of cool. All right, here we are. 2.5 minutes counting down. 1 year on Pulsechain. Hex straight to $1 after the countdown, says Brennan. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know how long it would hold up there, though, Brennan. I'm sure you can appreciate that. Wookie says, you're cool, dude. Nice one there, Wookie. You are a cool dude. Now, Wookie's been doing his skateboarding vlogs. So he's been skateboarding to different places like the pools and things like that, wearing some of his cool clothes. And of course, doing vlogs for that. So if you want to see some of those, check out our non-crypto chat in the Pulsechain in our Discord, the Hex Token Discord there, because it's lots of fun to see what Wookie's adventures are. Brian says drum roll. Yeah, I don't know if I've got a drum roll on the sound effects. In fact, we do have sound effects, but I don't know if there's any drum roll on them. Yeah, no drum roll there. So that is that. We got some music there. We got the old classic music there, the old Feeding the Ducks. Remember Feeding the Ducks? We used to play that all the time. That is Feeding the Ducks right there. So that's kind of there. We have some rock music as well. There we go. There's a bit of excitement. There we go. We're counting down the last minute. No. There we are. So that's some cool stuff. I do have some James Brown as well. I don't know whether I get pinged for that, though. If I play that, so we might leave that out. Wookie, give Wookie 1 cent. Give Wookie 1 cent, and it'll take your whole bank account. No, I'm just kidding. Brian's in there with the Discord. That's the link to the Discord there. Just join up to that if you want to join in today to see some of that. Rock on to 1 year. Yeah, we're in the last minute countdown here. We're counting down, almost down to 30 seconds. And we might do a 10 second countdown. How about that? That's pretty dramatic. Then we're going to get into the results for today, of course, on Pulsechain. Maybe have a look at some of the results overall on DeFi Llama and stuff. So stay tuned for that. See how we go. Yeah, 25 seconds. I'm counting down. Live here on Hex Token channel, Pulsechain, X, and of course, Superman Crypto, 3 YouTube channels, 10,500 subscribers, and we're just ticking down these seconds here. All right, here we go. 1 year anniversary from Pulsechain. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 year. Woohoo! Nice one there. How about that? And even on the GoPulse, they even got a cool little sign. Is that cool? And maybe this is the only YouTube channel covering this, unless they've got it on the Pulsechain conference. This is pretty cool. Now there's a button here. Should we click it? Pulsechain just turned 1 year old. Look at that. Woo! It's got some streamers, so that's pretty cool. I guess you can keep clicking it. So that's pretty neat. Isn't that fun? I'll post that link in the chat there if you guys want to go to GoPulse and play around with that. It's a bit of fun there. That was pretty neat. Nice little thoughts there by GoPulse there. We got Sandy in the house there too at the countdown. I can clearly remember being drunk exactly 365 days ago, says Brian. That's pretty funny. I was here in 2024, says Brennan. Nice. And yeah, nice countdown there, Sandy. Woohoo! When pump, says Brennan. Hey, maybe an anniversary plus 1 month. We talked about that. Maybe that aligns with 2 months of volatility for Bitcoin. And then game on after that, Brennan. Game on after that. Get your positions ready. And that is the goalpost right there as well. Let's play that one more time. Bam. Bam. All right. That's pretty fun. Let's see how many we can do. 1, 2, 3. Infinity and beyond. That's pretty cool. Well done to GoPulse for that. That is a lot of fun there. All right. Let's get into day results 366. Was day 1, day 0? I don't know. But anyway, we got quadruple 0616 at the moment on Pulsechain. 3.13%. So we're 62% of the mean sacrifice price at the moment. PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0266, up 4.62%. Incentive token at the moment, 5.88%, ticking away there as well. But the buy and burn on PulseX, before I get too far ahead, 852.7 billion has been bought up and burned, and that is 4.2%. So that's where we landed, pretty much, I think. So 4.2% there for 1 year Pulsechain. That is the mark. So pretty good results there. That's gone forever, which is kind of cool. Yeah, incentive token up 5.88%. The best performer today so far. The ratio to Pulse is 52,645. So that's really good. Some good results there. And of course, the supply of incentive tokens, 31.5 million incentive tokens in existence from the V1 PulseX farms, right? So we're going to look at that actually. PHEX at the moment is at just under 9200th of a penny, down slightly. So the worst performer out of the Richard Hart coins, down 0.23% on the anniversary. EHEX at the moment, 1700th of a penny. That's definitely gone down a little bit. And of course, the combined price, EHEX and PHEX, still holding up okay. 1.09 cents at the moment, still in the accumulation zone. So those are the results at the 1 year anniversary for Pulsechain here live. And of course, are pretty cool. So let's actually a little quick refresh of Richard Hart, see if he's got anything else to say before we move on. No, nothing there at the moment. So we might check him at the end of the live stream. Now, if you guys remember when Pulsechain launched, we had this wonderful website, pulsechain.com. It had lots of cool things on it, like the Explorer, the bridges, the validators, PulseX, how to add Pulsechain to your MetaMask. It was very exciting. Everyone was adding these details into their MetaMask to see their biggest airdrop in crypto history at the time. And so that was very bullish stuff there as well as support for developers. If you guys recall, we had some cool sites for that. And of course, we had this cool Beacon Explorer. Remember, this was popped up and we were playing around with this for quite a while, looking at validators going online, all sorts of stuff like that. We also have the latest and greatest epochs at the moment. So it looks like we're up to 99,256 on the epoch there. Let me do a refresh because I haven't refreshed this just to make sure it's the latest. Yeah, 99,256 epochs there. And of course, you can see the slot numbers as well in a sequence. And the validator as well are proposing those at the time. So we had some pretty cool stuff ticking away there on the old Pulsechain. We got some cool stats, of course. You know, inflation. We do have inflation, obviously. This here in the last 30 days looks like we've had about 20 billion in Pulse issued for the validators, and then of course about just over 2.2 billion Pulse burned there. EIP 1559 right on the old Ethereum there. So that's been ticking away as well. Current supply, it says, is 135.92 trillion. That includes the OA accounts, of course, or the sacrifice accounts. What else? Yeah, ticking away there on the old issuance. This is on Pulse coin list, this data, so pretty cool. Now the ecosystem, we've got cool ecosystem on Pulsechain, obviously, after a year, and it's continuing to grow. We've got all these different categories, you know, bridges, centralized exchanges. We've got lots of cool charts here. You can click on any of the icons for some of that. centralized exchanges. We've got a whole bunch of those. What else there? DeFi, DEXs, Web3, gaming, meme tokens. Obviously, we've had tons of meme tokens recently. NFT projects, NFT marketplaces. What have we got? 7 of those at the moment, NFT marketplaces. And we click on that, see what we've got there. So, yeah, we've got a whole list of NFT marketplaces on there. Kind of cool. What else there? Social, privacy, stable coins. Now, obviously, privacy's been under a little bit of pressure. We've had a bit of under pressure on those. Tokens and wallets. So wallets, obviously, Internet Money done very well in that mix. And of course, we've got Pulse Wallet as well as out there, which I haven't done too much on, but that's out there too. A lot of analytical sites. I think we've got really 5 top analytical sites. Obviously, CoinList is one of those. Yeah, pretty cool. Looking at DeFi Llama for Pulsechain. It's indicating here, at least DeFi Llamas, you got to take into account they don't get all the numbers perfectly right, but it's indicative. So we've got TVL locked at the moment, $400 million on Pulsechain at the moment. And you can see that the biggest one of that, of course, is Pulsex. Here, the number it's saying is 287 million. You do have to go to source to see the actual numbers, but that's kind of the play there. Liquid Loans, 51 million. Power City, 20 million. 9inch, 17, 18 million. PHUX, 16%. 16 million there. Fiat, 6 million. And Fame, 3 million. SparkSwap 2.3. So those are some of the leaders there. We'll give an honorable mention to Daytona Finance, done pretty well. And of course, you've got some of the smaller ones here. So those indicate, obviously, when you go to the actual sites, they often have different TVLs, usually higher. So these are normally a bit understated, but it's a good indicator there. And you can see that over the whole life, all the way back to at least when this started measuring, maybe not the 12th of May, but the 19th of May, 168 million. Have a big rally, of course, out of the gate. Went to about 492 million based on this data, 24th of May 2023, and did pretty well. Obviously, when we got to the 31st of July, when we had the SEC, the TVL fell off, and of course, a lot of money ended up going back over the bridge, and of course, leaving Pulsechain. But since that time, it looks like we've actually managed to get our assets back up. More utilities, more projects launching. Obviously, projects were tended to launch later than expected, like up to a couple of months later. So we had quite a deluge of projects around the liquid loans and post-liquid loans period. And then, then the TVL went up pretty high. We had that big hyper rally, remember? And of course, we got up to 700 million in TVL, and it's just cooled off since then to 400 million at the moment. So that's not too bad, actually. I mean, it's above where we were in July, certainly above this whole period here through to the end of 2024. And up and away. So actually, TVL is looking not too bad for a big pump to the upside. So feeling pretty good about that. So that's on DeFi Llama under Pulsechain. Pretty cool. Now we're going to have a quick look at the markets. Before we do that, though, let's get into Bitcoin and have a look at that. Let's see here. We've got Bitcoin at the moment. Actually, let's pull up the overall chart, because I normally like that one. Before we delve into Bitcoin. Yes, overall, bit of a mixed market at the moment. Obviously, we're in the weekend, Sunday for the US, so quiet day for the US normally, and often can be a selling day. But here it's Monday down under in New Zealand, Australia, Pacific Islands. So we've got Bitcoin here at $61,625, up 1.1%. Bitcoin dominance still pretty good, 52.42%. Ethereum there is up 0.6%. $2,936, not back over 3,000 yet. And then it's a bit of a mixed across the board there, right? BNB doing okay, Tron doing okay, Litecoin, everything else kind of down at the moment. Bitcoin Cash is doing okay. It's up as well a little bit, but all less than 5%. So a little eaching out a little bit of gains there for crypto. Obviously, Bitcoin there still under the 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average is currently at 63,310. We're currently at 61,491, but well above the 200 moving average at 53,100. So still doing okay there. Ethereum at the moment is currently quite a bit below the 50-day moving average, closer to the 100-day moving average. 50-day is at 3,150. 200 moving average at 2,790, and we're currently at 2,930 at the moment. So even weaker relative to the 50-day moving average compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin not too far away from it. So that is where we are. And obviously, we're just waiting for the Ethereum ETF approval deadline, 23rd. It looks like things probably will be moved to maybe July or something. So we're not expecting any magic there, any approval. Very, very low chance of that. And that is still ticking away, though. We've got there 10 days till that happens. So maybe everything's getting pushed further down to the end of the year, July, something like that, maybe for ETF approvals. We will see. That's kind of it. That leads us into, obviously, the Pulsechain chart. So we'll have a quick look at that. This is Pulsechain at the moment. Obviously, we broke down that nice little support line there, the one that Richard Hart had been using. And, of course, now we are back down into, finding price discovery. But we do have horizontal support levels. Particularly, I would say for 5,000 is looking pretty good for Pulsechain at the moment. However, we have bounced off 5,360, and we're currently slightly higher than that, 6,176. But certainly 5,000 would be a key mark there on the horizontal. Now we've broken down the angular support. That's kind of the play there, where RSI was very oversold on the daily. And, of course, we just hit the 1 year Pulsechain there. Let's go to the weekly. Weekly on the Pulsechain. Gives you just an easier way of looking at that summary data. But like I say, we have had a lot of these days here. We got support a lot in this zone here. That's where we've bounced off at the moment at 5,360. So fingers crossed we hold that. Like I say, the next level would be 5,000 after that. But the RSI is pretty, in the oversold territory, not full on, but on the weekly 36. But probably get a good bounce from here at the stage, and maybe that. Maybe 2 weeks ago was the low there at 5,288. We shall see. Pulsex as well, pretty much actually holding up relatively strong compared to the angular support. It has pierced through it a few times, but managing to hold on to it. But like holding on to dear life, as it were. And so that's looking pretty good there as well. We do have a 13 EMA here, which is the yellow line, and a 34, which is the blue line. And it does look like it's curling to the upside. So that's a bullish sign. And, of course, it looks like it's closing out there. Let's go to the weekly. We've certainly got room on the RSI as well. So this closing here of this is looking actually bullish. Let's go to the weekly on here and have a look as well. We have got on the weekly, it is on a negative sort of crossing over, but it may just bounce off given the daily. So the daily may be a clue that this is probably going to fake out. And we'll just maybe bounce off that with the yellow line going up to the right and the blue line tracking down or tracking this down slightly. But so far holding that up pretty well, and we're at 40 there on PLSX. So yeah, maybe it is that 1 year and 1 month scenario, and that would add into about 2 months after the Bitcoin halving, and maybe game on after that, right? All right, the yields at the moment on Pulsex looking pretty healthy. You guys know I like to check in on the Pulsex yields. Some really nice yields at the moment. Obviously, if Pulse and Pulsex do start to rally, then being in stablecoin pairs is generally not the best. Yeah, you're making a good APR, but you're losing the Pulse. You're losing the coins that go up to the right? So you're losing that. So your total value would be stunted, say at least, right? So, but at the moment, very, very nice income earning there at the moment. So Pulse at the moment, 15%, 15.5%. DAI there, 81%. So some really great returns here on stablecoins and have been recently sustained. USDC Pulse, 80% as well. Wrapped Ethereum Pulse is, so this is bridged in. These are all bridged in pairs versus Pulse. 55.7% there, and the standout here is USD Tether. Yes, USD Tether from Ethereum matched with Pulse is 88%. Pretty badass, right? That's a really good return. Now you can go on to other chains like Base and Solana and others like that. You can get some pretty good yields, maybe 30% for stablecoins, something like that at the top end, 20% typically. Right? Obviously, if the safest pair is probably USDC, USD Tether, something like that, over on Uniswap, but you'll be earning a very small yield on that, right? I don't know what it is at the moment, but I don't know, it's got to be small, 1-2% or something like that, maybe not even that. So, yeah, definitely, it's been a while since I looked, but that's somewhere it'd be very, very low. That's kind of your most conservative blue chip type of pairing. But to get these sort of returns is pretty spectacular. As soon as you go on to other chains, you are, in my view, taking on a lot more risk. If you're trying to chase 150%, 250%, or even full-on speculation when you're up in those early pools at thousands of percent, even millions, depending on how quick you get in. But they don't last long, right? Because everyone floods into them. But very, very attractive yields here on Pulsex. Hex Pulse here, 28.5% on the Hex Pulse. And some of my favorite actually incentives here as well. So I do really like the Hex Pulse pool here at the moment. And also these incentive pools looking pretty good as well. If you're bullish on the incentive token, then yeah, 43% on that one for versus Pulse, and almost 41% versus Pulsex there. So pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, that leads us into incentive token. And if you're bullish on incentive token, it certainly is looking good in the charts. I mean, look at this, really holding nice little consolidation zone here. Pretty chill on the weekly here with the RSI at 58. Is it getting ready to make another move higher? That's the question, right? So if we do break up to the upside, that's no doubt going to break up too, right? So Hex at the moment, 9,200 of a penny, still in the accumulation zone on the daily. So nothing more to say there. The RSI pretty chill at 50. So yeah, good accumulation. That's all you can say about that. EHEX likewise here on the daily accumulation as well. Even a bit of a wicket, nice little entry today, almost towards the bottom of the range. And yeah, 1,700, 1,800 of a penny. And of course, the pancakes wall coming up here at 7/10 of a penny, presuming it's still there. Combined price of EHEX of PX at the moment, just under 1.1 cent in the accumulation zone. That's it. Waiting for 3 cent breakout. That's pretty much it. And we'll be here to watch it because it's going to be streaming most days, right? So we'll see you there when it does happen. That is pretty much it on those. Let's quickly look at the gas prices for day 366, the 1 year anniversary. We've got 455,000 beats, so pretty normal what we've had the last couple of days, which is about over 2x our minimum, around 200,000. We've got 1 cent for a Pulsex swap, a 600th of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, 2/10 of a penny for a PRC2 transfer. Ethereum at the moment being insanely cheap on the Gwei, right? 3 Gwei, insane over on Ethereum. Good time to end Hex miners. Good time to end Zen miners, Zen miners, and all sorts of stuff. So it's a great time to get in. Anyway, even with that, Pulsechain is still 312 times cheaper than Ethereum. So 1 cent for a Pulsex swap, up $3.14 for a Uniswap there. There we go. All right, let's go to the validators, which has been one of the big stars of Pulsechain over the last year, is the Pulsechain. And we're got 1.56 trillion here in Pulse currently off the market. A bit off our high. I think we got up to like I can't remember how I was, but we've been recently about 1.58, 1.57. But yeah, 1.56 at the moment. So they're doing pretty well. Not sure where our validator numbers have gone, but they disappeared for some reason. Let's go to the bridge. Our health check for 1 year anniversary. We're seeing 108 million, so down slightly from yesterday. So we're 107.9, just under 108, so just down slightly from yesterday there. Obviously with EHEX dragging it down probably there, moving down from what we're at 2/10 of a penny down to 1,700 of a penny. So it's probably that's the case there. But stablecoins on Pulsechain after a year doing pretty well. I mean, if we exclude the bridged on Ethereum, we've got USDL, which is doing pretty well. We've got 15 million supply there. PXDC 4.1 million. And Coast there 4 million, so doing pretty well as that. So what's that? 23 millions of native stable coins. Oh, and HexDC, so let's add that in too. Let's add that in. So what's that? 21, 25, yeah, over $25 million of stable coins between USDL, PXDC, HexDC, and Coast. The 4 stable coins on Pulsechain. Obviously, the first 3 USDL, PXDC, HexDC are all liquidity forks, and CST there is fiat-backed currency, but it's currently off. Well, it's not fully offline, just can't do deposits, withdrawals. It's waiting to get a new financial provider to get that back up. So there we go. Yeah, it says DPEG due to banking issues, extra coin there as well. So kind of cool. That is pretty much it. Let's go to our lock coins at the moment. Obviously, we talked about Pulsechain with the number of coins off the market at 1.56 trillion, plus 840 billion in liquid loans. Those are the 2 main ones, plus a little bit more through fiat and the bridge and everything else. So that's off the market looking pretty good. So what, 2.5 trillion coins doing pretty well off the market at the moment. And let's quickly go back to Gold Pulse. The 2.5 trillion. Let's do some quick maths there. We're going to do 2.5. I'm not sure if we got the exact number on this one. No, it doesn't have the exact number. 15.9. So 2.5 divided by 15.9. So that's about 15.7% of all pulses off the market after 1 year. So that's pretty attractive, isn't it? Pretty attractive. Let's go to the Pulsex just to have a look at that number too. So Pulsex at the moment, 595 billion Pulsex is off the market. So if we add that to 853, so 853 plus what did I say? 890, 796. Let me try that. 853 plus 796. That equals 1.64, or let's say 1.65 trillion. 1.6 trillion off the market there. Now the total amount, of course, that's what's it got here, 20.3. So we'll divide that by 2,300. And that gives us 8.12% of Pulsex is off the market. So a lot more Pulse is off the market, obviously, almost twice as much. There we go. All right, so that is Pulsechain. Obviously, we're going to be starting day 367 pretty much now. So it's kind of cool. We're going to deep dive in some of the derivatives, though. Let's have a look at that. Brennan agrees, talking about that maybe Pulsechain starts firing a month after the anniversary. And that would line up pretty well with after 2 months of the Bitcoin volatility, give or take. I mean, that's approximate, but yeah. Wookie was at the golf club. Well done, Wookie. Hope you got a hole in one. We're still looking for that elusive hole in one there, Wookie. All right, let's jump over to the derivatives on Pulsechain for the 1 year anniversary. We've got, I've added in a few others. I've added in the Maximus ones now. So we just had the Acosa Hedron. And of course, I don't think of anything's up there. What's up there? Decky and Lucky are up a little bit. Base is up a little bit as well. They're a little bit cream, but everything else is pretty much down, including Acosa and Hedron on Pulsechain and Ethereum today. Jumping over to the stable coins, we can see that USD Tether and let's see here the Pulsechain copies, which on an ambition to get to $1, they are all green, up 8%. PDI is at 5500th of a penny, up 8%. USDC up 7.4% as well. That's pretty much it. Coast is still below peak because of the financial partnership at 85 cents. Other than that, everything else is holding up pretty well. USDL is at 98 cents. XDC almost at $1, and PXDC at 98 cents as well, so slightly below peak. Bring on PUSD Algo. That's what we're looking for. And of course, we know that Jacob's going to try and bring that to market. He's going to go beast mode to get that up and running. Pulsechain, and maybe the world's first proper full DeFi stablecoin on Pulsechain. How about that? That'd be cool. All right, let's jump over to the influencer coins. See where they're going at the moment. So SolidX up 11.5% at the moment. More token from Trayvon up 6.8. Ben V1 Ben, that's the copy on Pulsechain, up 5.5%. We don't have V2 on Pulsechain, but we do have his Bro token that he launched, his Bromance one with Richard Hart. Which is actually out of the money at the moment, down 8%. Note token from Randy Olasky, like I say, almost like a stable coin itself, is at up 2.7%, and X is live there at 17,800 is up 1.3%. Hexy Busters Paul Pleb is down 4%. Steve Hitson, Scuba Steve, is down 6%. Has been doing well the last couple of days, but down today. And Bromance there is down 8% from Ben Armstrong. Now, Ben Armstrong's going to be anchoring today's day 3 conference, isn't he? So his coins might bump today. Is that going to happen? What do you guys reckon? Will they bump? So we've got particularly Bromance. Will that bump today? Will that go do a bit of a jump after being down 8%? Because at the moment, it's down 8%. And, of course, it's still trying to find a bottom. So price discovery is still in play for the old Bro. Let's pull up a RSI on Bromance. This is from Ben Armstrong, of course. If you don't know, Ben Armstrong was the #1 crypto influencer in the world, over 2 million, but got kicked out of that of his own project, trying to get it back, of course, legally. Now let's go to the we got daily. We haven't got enough on the RSI on the daily. Let's go to 4 hourly and see what we've got there. 4 hourly oversold. 4 hourly is oversold. So a lot of work to do there. So yeah, could bounce. Now we were going to talk about this a bit later, but you can see that Ben Armstrong, BitBoy, if you can see here, is the keynote speaker, not for today, actually, for tomorrow. So look out for tomorrow. Maybe the price will bounce on Ben Armstrong. Who knows? Maybe it's not enough to do that. It may depend on how much social media he does on his own platform. But BitBoy V2, Ben Armstrong, does stand up and more. So there he's the keynote. He's going to be the keynote instead of Richard Hart, right? So that is Ben Armstrong. Kind of cool, though, having, he's climbing back up. Last time I saw him, he had got back over 100,000 YouTube subscribers on his new channel and was well over 110,000. So he's probably even bigger than that now there at the moment. been doing a lot with the American influencers in Pulsechain, right? So that is the markets there. Let's quickly look at the overall for Pulsechain on the anniversary day, or the anniversary turnover, and let's see what's performing well here. We got this token called Bitcoin with the corn, like yellow corn, and of course that's up 1,000%. That's some new coin that's just come out of nowhere, no doubt. Let's have a look here. On it, 6 hours and 52 minutes. So it's just come out of nowhere. It doesn't have a website or anything else like that. It's got 35k liquidity, 57 market cap, very small little project, relatively speaking. Doesn't seem to have any issues on the quick intel. I'm not sure if it has a buy or sell tax though. Yeah, it does seem to have a lot of rockets there. So I'm not sure who's put that up, but that is doing okay. Every day there's typically 1 or 2 new coins that come out that pump, do the pump. Just don't get caught on the dump. That's all. Right? If you're going to speculate on these things, and use the DGen wallet as well. Perma Gift there up 38%. Gifford Wear up 36%. What else is doing there? 4-way Mirror is up 33%. That's been doing pretty well the last couple of days, I think. 9mm is up 25%. Now that only just launched, right? The 9mm DEX only just launched, and let's see how it's doing after 4 days, 5 days. Okay, it's just finished 4 days, so it's just starting its 5th day, and doing okay, isn't it? 23 cents at the moment, holding up pretty well in this range. So if you take the top of these two and the bottom, what's the top range? 26 cents to 18, 17. So it's kind of just slightly above the 50% line on that range, and 23.6 cents. So holding up okay is the old 9mm coin there from the DEX. All right, what else is doing okay? SolidX, we talked about that. Sack Daddy, this was just launched the other day, wasn't it? That is up 10%. Let's actually see how that DGen's going. Sack Daddy. I'm pretty sure it was only launched the other day. Yeah, not too long, maybe a week ago now. So yeah, look at that. Looks like it's bounced off 8 zeros, 5,800. Now 8 zeros, 8,000. So there we go. Let's see if that can do any magic or not. I'm not sure the tokenomics or who's holding it or whatever. It's got a lot of red flags on it though. 255. So be careful out there. Be careful out there, folks. Obviously, none of this is endorsement. We're just going through what's actually performing today. We've got a diehard in the house there. Now, we had a diehard, someone in the chat there. Who was diehard came in, and we'll talk about that quickly. Diehard came in. Look there. Diehard with the popcorn. Well, Diehard is doing okay today. You obviously, if you own this token, you earn PDI, don't you? You earn PDI for all the trading volume. Now, up 9% at the moment. There's the old diehard. Let's have a quick look at this chart, see what that's looking like. Pretty much around the bottom level, isn't it? So it's this accumulation zone. It's got 12 makers, so not a lot of interactions there at the moment, but who knows? Maybe we'll get pumped at some stage. Actually, let me go back to that because I want to see what the volume is. $7,100 in volume. So if you are getting PDI, it's going to be a lot less than when you had these big volume candles at the beginning, right? Right. Let's see, for Ghazi at the moment up 9%. So lots of decent ones. So normally I like to do 10% or above. So those are some honorable mentions there. Lastly, I guess we'll put PDRIP in there. That's up 8.5% on those ones. But there's a lot of other ones with small percentage gains today. In the list, a lot of Hex Orange Address. Some people are saying, that Hex Orange Address, the Tang Gang and all that, they've been really been a big part of the volume on Pulsechain. And of course, the Pulsechain volume today is 15 million. Yesterday I looked, it was at 10.1 million. Yesterday I looked, and of course, the end of last week, we saw Pulsechain volume at around 25 to 35 million during a weekday, right? In the weekend, it's been falling off, 10 to 20 million, maybe 15 million at the moment. During the weekdays, sort of 25 to 35 million at the moment. And of course, we look forward to that lifting, right? And getting bigger and bigger on the old volume. We've got 236,000 transactions during the weekday. We might get around 300,000. So obviously, with the weekend still in the northern hemisphere, on the weaker side there at the moment, as people I guess hanging out with their families and going golfing. All right, so that is pretty much it on that. Let's jump over to the Hex Daily Stats for Hex.com, and of course we've got the day 1623 out, the 12th of May. It's got no price and update in there for some reason, but the payout was 137 Hex per T-share today, off the back of yesterday's one at 7.4. Let's look at the T-shares. T-shares up 1,000. That's something at 9,194,000 T-shares in the ownership pool on the old Hex mining on Ethereum. The reward pool just over 500,000, almost 600,000 Hex in penalties. We've got 65.6 million in the reward pool. The liquid holders up 25, the miners down 16. So we've got 117,892 miners on the old Ethereum side. We don't have Pulsechain out at the right time. It comes out a bit later, but we do have yesterday's results, which would have been day 365. And of course, that's the 11th of May. We had the price was down 4.4%, but the payout, which is the main number we're after, was 6.9 Hex per T-share on the old Pulsechain. Share rate up slightly at 12.3. Let's look at the T-shares. T-shares up 1,500. So we've got 9,458,000 T-shares on Pulsechain. Let's go to the reward pool. $100,000 in penalties 2 days ago. So on the modest side, with 65.3 million Hex in the payout pool for those Hex miners. Liquid holders up 22, but miners down 10. That trend continues on the adoption chain, the Magic Carpet Ride chain, Pulsechain. Just below 124,000 miners, which is just around about 6,000 more than on Ethereum. So that's pretty much it at the moment. There we go. That's Hex Daily Stats. Let's quickly check on the Pulse conference that's coming up. Before we do that, though, let's load a few more comments. We've got Force of One is in the house there. Hello, all. Good to see you, Force of One. Hope you're doing well. Brian says, we are all diehards. Indeed, we are. We are indeed. That's a good phrase of the day there from Brian, our community leader. I die pretty easy, actually, says Hexo many times, but you always come back somehow, like a bit of a phoenix. All right. So obviously the Pulsechain conference is on at the moment. It'd be day 3, I guess, Sunday, 12th of May. And what would it be? Probably somewhere Papa Boner or KDP on there, something like that, one of these talks. Is my guess, probably with Pulsechain coming up afterwards pretty shortly. So if you haven't already popped over to Pulsechain conference, definitely check out the Pulsechain conference. I think it's on Matty Allen's channel, which is the host. So the hostess of the mostest. And then, of course, tomorrow, what else they got today? Actually, today they're going to have a few other things. They're going to have Dollar Cost Crypto, Fashion Coder, and Johnny Chaos. That'll be a fun little conversation there. Matty Allen, future us. They're going to have Keynote there, Maximalist versus Maximalist. I'm not sure the difference, but you'll find out there. They're going to have Nerd Girl, SolidX, Cultivated Crypto, Captain RG3, the main actor of the highest of stakes, the main protagonist, was it? I don't know. But then tomorrow, day 4, there's going to be what's Crypto Class, a few others there. 9inch is going to be in. I always like, you guys know, I always like to hear the project team ones, and particularly focus around the utilities. So that's 9inch going to be on there. Obviously, it's had a nice little comeback, the old 9inch. So Hexy Bastard is going to be in the morning. Briz is going to be in there with Part Excellence having a talk, so we get some insights from Briz there. They're going to have Pulsechain with Crypto Cabana, Crypto Girl, Hexray Visions, and a chat there. What else is going on? Dipcatcher and Hex Scout, that will be one not to miss. So I do think this 9inch in the morning tomorrow, this Dipcatcher and Hex Scout will be fantastic. If you love those projects, Hex derivatives and things, that's definitely, you don't want to miss that one. And then they're going to have a panel talk here in the afternoon with a few of the big influencers there, and then a keynote with Ben Armstrong tomorrow, and then wrapped up with some social chats with a lot of the influencers there as well. Kind of cool. All right, that is it on the conference. What else there? I have a 5,555 lives, is Hedgehog. See what you did there, and with less now, thanks to Sandy. Yes, Sandy, got to be careful. It might get done over. All right, we're coming up on 45 minutes. Can you believe it? We did it. 1 year Pulsechain. We're starting the new year right now. A new year, a whole new year ahead of us. What will it have in store? Well, we're expecting pretty bullish times, right? We're expecting that if it follows, the Bitcoin halving follows, you get 1 or 2 months of volatility, and then we start to get that bullish big run, right? So obviously people are calling some big numbers for Bitcoin in this bull run cycle. And of course, we're talking about 150 to 180 is kind of the ballpark. And then potentially some people calling to 220, 240, Richard Hart's of the world, for example. And then, of course, maybe even bigger than that. Maybe we might get even up to some massive re-rate and get up to gold, right? Get up to gold's market cap, which has been climbing, of course. So, yeah, maybe $400,000 price or more. We'll see how we get on with that. Now, obviously, we're expecting Pulsechain to have a magic carpet ride at some stage. So really, you are diehard if you're here holding on and you haven't been shaken out weekends. So and you've been accumulating, and the charts have definitely got accumulation written all over them. And it's just a matter of having those diamond hands, picking up that volume while you can. And then when the price does the magic carpet ride, does the breakout, then you'll be laughing yourself silly. And maybe that will start timing with similar with the Bitcoin trying to move higher. I guess Bitcoin, the next thing is to try and head towards 100K and then 100K and pray. 100K and pray. Magic carpet ride is here. That's kind of the play. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that 45 minutes on the live. I'll catch you again probably tomorrow for the next coverage. So you know me. Catch you in Discord as well. I'll be in Discord. This time next year, we'll all be very happy, says Brian. I love those. The very, very nice words there. And cheers, super, says Brennan. You're welcome. All right, let's play out the Magic Carpet Ride video on the way out. Now, we'll be having some teams coming up on some live streams soon and some giveaways potentially. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up here on Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto, and of course Pulsechain X. So some team interviews, some potential giveaways. Giveaways, kind of giveaways. We'll see what that looks like when they come to fruition. But definitely we're doing some different things coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. And of course, I'm looking very excited for TYZZ launching on the 15th, 16th of this week coming up. All right, Magic Carpet Ride, where are you? Where are you gone? Let's hunt for the Magic Carpet Ride. Here we go. Peace out, everybody. Take care. Subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. See you in Discord. Take care, and bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
It's fun to watch Hex pumping up the charts. It's left behind all kinds of broken hearts who didn't buy the dip, who didn't DCA. And now that we're on a rip, it's hard to look away. Now I'm not the one to hand out free advice, but as for me, I wouldn't dare think twice about buying a bag, since we're still somewhat down. This rocket ship's about to break the speed of sound. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. I tip my hat to everyone who minds. You're getting paid out while you're killing time. It makes room for a nice vacation to the beach, perhaps a celebration now that you are rich. Ha ha! Ignore the haters who all called you crazy. You studied hard while they were being lazy. Now you're packing bags, about to take a ride up on that rocket ship, mooned up and starry-eyed. I feel these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now that we're summer bound and the sun is bright, I see that it's not round but rather has 6 sides. It's a work of art that's written into code, designed by Richard Hart to make our bags explode. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Yeah, we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco.